graphics, Roger. So this next question is like, do you go in and help design the actual car, like as far as looks, color scheme, stuff like that? Do you get involved with all of that?
Definitely. For my stuff, I give input, and I have certain logos and sponsors I have to have on my cars, and so I'll give input, and then my guy that has helped paint my stuff this year, Brian Mercurio, he'll say, you like this, or you think we can go this way or that way, and I'll agree or not agree, and it's pretty straightforward. I'll have my input, but I have my certain sponsors I have to have on it, and that's really it.
Mm. And you mentioned sponsors one time before. Let's go into that conversation. Like, what sponsors are? Can you name a few and tell us kind of like what the relationships are with you guys?
So some of my sponsors, SimSeats, like I said earlier, they provide me with the simulator or I guess a rig and to help me improve on iRacing. And in addition, I have on the real life side of things, I got Max Siegel Incorporated and Special Smiles Dentistry, Mobile One, and iRacing that help with the real life side of things with my schedule with NASCAR Drive for Diversity and Rev Racing. And then some sponsors I have with me, there's the museum, along with Somewhere, and those are both clothing groups that are based in D.C., and, some hometown people that, really help me. In addition to Mark Ross and Compass, and that's a realtor group from D.C. as well. So those are some of the people that have helped me so far. Along with the OG Racing, they've helped me get a lot of my gear for real life, like my helmet and shoes and gloves and such. They're from just outside of DC as well.
And how did it come about getting? Did you approach Rev Racing, or did they approach you? Tell us that story.
Well, sorry, my fault.
No, go ahead.
I really, for Drive for Diversity, it's an application-based program, and after you apply, you really you try out if you make it to a certain point, and after that, there's a whole application process, and then the combine, which is basically a tryout, and you'll have your physical assessments and your media assessments and things like that, and obviously the on track as well. So. That you're evaluated in various you're evaluated in various areas, and to see if you'll be able to succeed in the program.
And let's go deeper into that conversation. So, can you tell everybody what's the Drive for Diversity program? I saw your entry video. And I'd like to know, the second part of that question is, I would like to know exactly what kind of feedback did you get from NASCAR after they saw the video, or did they give you any feedback?
So the NASCAR Drive for Diversity program is a program that gives people that, wouldn't have the opportunity or an avenue to get into the sport a way to get into it. So it's not just on the drive side of things. There's a pit group program. There's a college intern program that gives people jobs in the industry of NASCAR and on teams and such. So specifically related to that video, I didn't really get any feedback just because, it was just a tryout video essentially, or part of the application process. And that was really it from there.
That's cool, man. And at what point did you have to kind of pull your parents to the side and say, hey, I know I've been doing, I did count, so I'm doing the iRacing. I think I really want to get in the real car and go. And what was that conversation like?
Really, my dad was pretty on board. It was really just to convince my mom and show mom that if it didn't work out, I'd still go to school and get a college education just in case, racing didn't work out.
Yeah. And so what is the different feeling between doing sim racing and doing real racing? I know, it has to be a lot more adrenaline getting into the real car. Can you kind of break down the differences between the two?
Um, Essentially, the simulator itself is pretty spot on. I think the one thing that is really different from real life to the sim is the sensation of speed and all the forces and your senses that you don't get off a simulator that you get in real life. That's really the biggest difference. And aside from that, really the visuals on the track and how the cars handle it's pretty spot on.
That's crazy, man. It sounds like iRacing has did a good job with that with the sim. For you not to see that much different comparison. Go ahead. Say what you're going to say.
I would definitely agree. Seeing the progress that they've made, it's very cool to see how far they've gotten.
Mm-hmm. And being in that car, I haven't had, I've played games, racing games. I've been around racing. My dad used to be on a pit crew for this drag racer that grew up in my neighborhood and got nationally ranked. So I've been around, those type of races. From the standpoint of winning, what is that emotion like for you, man? Explain that to us.
It's pretty cool, I guess. It's like, if you, win the state championship or, medal at a track meet. It's very similar to that. It's cool to win, but you got to use that to really just focus and go on to the next race, the next meeting, the next workout. To just not get too caught up in the gloriousness of the win and use it to get focused for the next one.
That's true, man. I agree with that statement, man. Just staying focused, staying on the straight and narrow, and keeping it moving, man. Keep improving. So, as far as being in that diversity program and after the wins, what is the next steps going through that program?
So I can the program it fields teams in the NASCAR Whelen All-American Series and the ARCA Menard Series, and so I would hopefully want to stay in that program all the way through the ARCA Menard Series through a few years, and hopefully stay in the program until then. And then after that, we're kind of off to the wolves. At that point, I would really have to find my own sponsors or really try to be with a team or manufacturer, like the likes of Toyota Racing Development or Ford or Chevrolet Driver's Edge program. It really we're off to the wolves after.
You still here, Roger?
Yep. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. Kind of lost you for a second. So you're getting ready to go to Winston-Salem, man. So are you excited? Are you still going to be able to race and do college? How's that looking as far as schedule?
Yeah, I'm excited to go to Winston-Salem. Being not far from the Charlotte area, I could, live in Concord and I'll be able to get the classes if I have to go back to Winston-Salem. But the plan is hopefully to do a lot of it online and to try to maximize my time at the race shop and doing everything I can to improve and really just to spend all the time I can to succeed.
I can imagine you've been learning a lot about this industry, man. What have you learned about the whole industry that's surprising to you?
Something that really surprised me about the industry is that, for one thing, a lot of people know each other, and at the same time, it really pays you and rewards you to get your name around and really just introduce yourself at tracks. Over the past year or so, I've gone from whenever I would go to big NASCAR events, I've transitioned from a fan really to bringing business cards and introducing myself to people that I recognize from watching on TV for all these years and trying to introduce myself and get my name out there. That's something that I really, grateful that I've had the opportunity to do, because I've realized that, for all the people that, the 100 business cards that you give out on a day, if even one or two of those people actually take the time to check you out or something, that could lead to your big break one day.
It can, man. It's all about relationships, Rajah. I would continue to do that, man. Continue to follow up with people when they give you a business card with an email or a phone call to build those relationships. And man, I have to say kudos to your parents again, man, because you sound like you really had a solid foundation as far as growing up. And I would suggest, do you have a LinkedIn already?
No, sir, but I'm definitely going to work on that in the coming months since we got all the time in the world, really.
Man, I would suggest that you get on there, Rajah, like next week, if you have time, and develop you and I'm gonna tell you the cheat sheet. Go on there and find a NASCAR driver and look at their profile, and just plug your information in and set it up the way they have it. And that'll be a great networking tool for you. Everybody that's in business, I know you have the Twitter, but everybody that's in business, Twitter and LinkedIn is going to be your best friend. So take my word on that, man. And like I said before, man, I'm proud of you, man. I wish you the best. And if you need anything on my end, just let me know. You're definitely here, man. And I think the culture is proud of you. We have a few more minutes left in the show. So this is your time to plug away. Let me know, what's coming up for you, how people can reach out if they want to be a sponsor. The floor is yours, man.
I appreciate it. So, I got to thank my sponsors again, Sim Seats, Rev Racing, NASCAR Drive for Diversity, and Max Siegel, iRacing, Special Smiles Dentistry, the museum, OG Racing, Compass, Somewhere, and everybody that, have helped get me to the track and helped me improve at home. Thank you, Chris, for having me on. And, I've done some research and looking to go play eSports and love what you guys are doing. And can't wait to see how you guys grow in the coming months and years. And hopefully, maybe we'll have an interview in, 5 years and, it'll be at PAX East or something like that where I'm at an iRacing booth or something like that,
Nah, for sure, man, and who knows, man, the way that you put in work, man, and being diligent with your craft, it might be faster than 5 years, and you always have an open door over here, man. Trust me.
Appreciate it.
You want to plug your social media before we go?
Yeah, sir. So, I got on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, I'm at Rajah Caruth _ and then along with my YouTube, the same handle there. Facebook, Rajah Caruth. And that's really it,
That's awesome, man. So I wish you the best, and like I said, man, you always have an open door policy. Whenever you need to come back on and give us some of that good news, man, we're welcome, man. You're welcome. And thanks for coming on again, Rajah. I wish you the best.
Thanks for having me on. All right.
This was another episode of Go Play Esports with Christopher Turner. Follow him on Twitter at Turner_CP.